last time on Dice Funk.
And as he grumbles to himself, he looks up just in time to see the trepidation drill come in and catch him pretty roughly on the cheek, casting him onto the ground unconscious for the time being.
This village was founded by people who were not safe elsewhere. There are many people outside this village who would see it destroyed.
So why would you rig a sortition then?
I have seen the minds of the people who live here. Some of them are filled with darkness. Some of them are filled with ambition. If I recall, it was Master Voya's idea.
The only conclusion I can think of is that the obelisk is built from the engine that used to be in Marina's ship. And that's why this key was what works for it, because it used to be the key to the engine when it was in Marina's ship.
The genius wishes to harness the power of the machine. And I've worked on a failsafe for the good neighbors, just in case they aren't ready yet.
Neellith, in Infernal, is going to shout at the governor. I don't know if you know this. Your becoming the governor was rigged.
I guess in accordance with the rule of law, I'm going to need to step down as governor, as is tradition. There will be a 3-week period of transition, and then we will decide a new governor by sortition.
When you say they've become one with the obelisk, does that mean Kaboom and Kablam are also invincible, or are they the same as they were before?
Yeah, so they can be defeated in combat, but they will simply return to the monolith and take like a couple of days to regenerate. They're not alive. They are magic.
Why don't we repair damages that are done? If we would be the ones who would find someone who has killed your brother or stolen your cabbage, why aren't we the ones who put a window back in, or help to put a window back in?
I will take responsibility for Ruth's actions going forward. Ruth, I trust that you will come to me if there is anything that I can do to subvert whatever is coming.
Consensual hive mind.
Yes.
I petition the machine and network in, and my little tendrils go across into everybody's ears.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in the coats, with scars of red tied round their throats. They keep their little heads from falling in the snow, and I turn round and there you go. And Michael, you would fall and turn the white so red as strawberries in the summertime.
Okay, so do centipedes like feet more because they have more feet, or would they'd be like, feet? Who cares?
Well, they do have the instinct to want to mate, so I would say there's something. Maybe they have a fetish for smells? I don't know how centipedes choose mates.
If there's any animal that's gonna have a foot fetish, I think it's the centipede, because, like, most species are attracted to the features of the species that they already have, and there's gotta be some reason they've got that many legs, and I think it's because, like, they just... I'm gonna say that centipedes aren't into the number of feet. It's gotta be good high-quality feet for a centipede.
Huge disagree.
Now I'm going to provide a non-scientific answer here that I think will be more accurate. I think what happens is that it's like photography, right? A photographer takes lots of pictures in the hopes that one of them is actually good. Centipede have many feet in hopes that one of them is actually good enough to draw attention from someone else.
I think it's the number of feet. They're like, whoa, look at all those feet. They've managed to keep the feet.
I think if a centipede could like feet, they would find themselves blessed because of how relatively small they are to most animals. It would be like if you got to just live in a giant genital kingdom.
Do you guys know that, like, there used to be 6-foot-long centipedes during that one era where there was a lot of oxygen in the world?
No, thank you.
Also, when I was in Puerto Rico, there was a giant centipede behind me and I was washing dishes. It was huge. Literally foot long. Look up Puerto Rican centipede. They fight snakes.
Why am I looking this up?
You want what you can't have. Therefore, it is my supposition that snakes actually have the most
And fish.
dire foot fetishes.
I hate to tell you this, but in researching here, I have stumbled upon a BBC article about animals that have kinks. Giraffes
Tell
have
me everything.
giraffes have piss drinking fetishes.
I actually knew
yes.
that. They taste, I think.
Yeah,
to tell
yeah,
if you
that's-
have like good genes.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I want to know if I want to fuck you. Let me get a good sip of that.
Amazing.
So for the audience, this all started because before the recording, we were talking about insects, and I said, "Oh, they must not ever get horny and have kinks, which is like the ideal life." And I wish I was free from this prison.
Well, I thought you were saying that no one would have a centipede fetish, and I thought, no, there must be someone.
There is
And
a
then I googled it.
There is a type of beetle that is more attractive to beer bottles than it is to other beetles of its species.
Well, yeah, there's a classic problem in ostrich farming. Where
Yes!
ostriches are more attracted to human women, I believe, than other ostriches. I believe is
No, that's a real
But that
thing.
does prove my idea that aliens are coming for our women. So
Well, even before that, it came from because my character for next season is a bartender who is a centipede who loves feet. So I hope you'll enjoy that when that happens.
see, now Austin can never escape this.
There's still time to change your mind.
No.
I feel like I'm locked in now. It's in the podcast.
This conversation has set it in stone. There's no one doing what we've done here.
This is only to haunt you.
That other character I told you, Austin, that was just for a bit. It's the centipede. It's the feet-loving centipede now.
Okay, so from the audience's perspective, it's been 2 weeks since you heard the players' voices, so let's just get back on the same page real quick. Does anybody have any questions about the resolution of the last arc? The Geniuses Workshop is now a constantly shifting set of Lego blocks, with the spire, with the monolith sticking out of it. It's not a danger to anyone, but it is just constantly moving like the gears in the dump. GG is called for new election, or they're not votes. GG has called for a new sortition in a couple weeks, and this downtime we're doing now will occur during that frame of time. So if anybody wants anything there.
I want to double check something that I didn't miss it during the previous episode that went between the last one we did. Was it explained in that episode, like, hey, we know that the genius has hopped 5 years into the future. Did we get an explanation of how the other time travel nonsense going on occurred?
Yeah, the sigil, the glyph that was taken from Potter's door opens portals, and the machine can bend time and space. So together you get portals to different times and spaces. But between the Baku using it, between the Genius using it, and between Shoko using it, the sigil has been destroyed, overloaded. And so now time travel is off the table for the foreseeable future. Just to peek behind the curtain, your Dungeon Master Austin Yorsky has no plans to incorporate any more time travel because it gets very confusing and hard to track. But that was an element of
Indeed.
Chris's character that I had to honor. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Oh, and the vision that Very had has not been explained.
correct. Yeah, there's ambiguity. Is he really getting visions from gods? Is he insane? So what's happening there?
Okay, cool.
The only other question I have, and this is going back to the Governor Gigi, we need to hold a trial, the genius is evil, etc. thing that happened. Did Governor Gigi, am I making this up, or did Governor Gigi outright say, if not imply, that like the genius had done a much more considerable assault, physical assault on them than an atomic wedgie?
So I think there's an open question of how much GG overreacted. Are they, I don't want to tell you how to identify the genius and the governor, who are two really messy, morally complex characters.
Yep.
And I think while the governor was telling the truth under Zone of Truth, that he was assaulted and battered by the strict definition of those tort
Technically
claims.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to the average person, that may have seemed like an exaggeration, having now received a vision of what was a wedgie.
Well, I mean, there isn't actually a more serious assault than an atomic wedgie. That's why they call it atomic.
Yeah.
It's,
I'll also know this reminds me of my time doing volunteer work at the Game Developers Conference, where we're told explicitly that if someone's trying to go into a room they can't go in, you can't reach out and like grab their shoulder to keep them from entering a room because that's battery outright.
oh wow.
Physical contact is all is really required for battery.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have real damages, there's no real point in suing someone because you get $0 for being right.
Right.
I guess you pay legal fees, but that is the definition. So.
Oh, a wedgie definitely does meet the definition of assault, because you can do some real damage to anyone who is a testicle haver with a wedgie. Like, actual serious damage can be done.
No, well, that did happen to a kid I went to school with in high school. Like, I don't know if this was one of those things where they exaggerated, but I was told he popped a testicle when they gave him a wedgie so intense. It could have just been like he got hurt really bad, and then everyone was like, his balls exploded. But that's what I was told. But I know he did have to go to the hospital.
Jeez.
Austin, you'll have to correct me on this. Isn't even just the threat of a wedgie technically assault at that point there? Isn't that the case? Or
Correct.
Yeah, so like the threat is assault, and then the actual contact is battery. And that's the distinction between the two.
You can assault someone with a threat?
Yes. Assault is a threat. A threat is assault. Yes.
Well, I have a lot of internet comments I would like to charge with assault, please.
Right. Same. Jesus.
Wouldn't it be great if law enforcement took those seriously? And did their, job. Isn't that kind of what the season's about?
Or just bare minimum, like the platform that those comments are on did their job, whatever.
I think that's what the season's about. Really, is holding internet commenters accountable.
Wait. So are you telling me that Grendel is like a social media platform? Is that what this whole thing is?
Oh my God, no!
And the
Please.
Voice Watch is just a moderator team? Is that all this
The
is?
genius is Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh no!
The app Grendel doesn't have any E's though. It's just Grendel.
Grendel? No.
Grendel. All right. So who wants to go first? I believe we're at level 8, we're getting up there. Y'all are getting strong.
I got summon steed. It's gonna be disgusting.
Let's actually start with Sophie because since you have to play a little bit of catch up, you actually have 2 scenes planned. And I will remind everyone that this is not a meaningless choice. Going on behind the scenes at all times, the NPCs are doing their own thing, and not engaging with that will have consequences. For example, you may have noticed during the trial, Farmer Applewhite was very frustrated, and that's because when the Tulpas attacked, nobody checked on her, and then when the good neighbors attacked, nobody checked on her. So if you're a citizen in a small village, you might be feeling neglected if twice in a row now nobody has checked on your well-being when lethal things are happening. So that's an example of ignoring NPCs going forward.
I'm getting the vibe that you've played Pathologic, Austin.
I love when games aren't fun. That's one of my favorite things.
Oh, same.
So Phillippa.
Yeah, it's not much is different on this level, but I get an extra spell slot at level 4, which I haven't assigned any other spells, any other level 4 spells to for me to be carrying around, because doing anything at level 4 spell was pretty powerful, and so a lot of my spells that I could do higher level, I might just use those. And I got to increase some stats. And I thought about what Phillippa has done since she arrived. And to me, it seemed like, compared to where she was before, her biggest thing would be socializing with people in a different way. And she did a lot of spell casting. And so I increased wisdom and charisma. I felt that was a good reflection of the role playing that's been done, that this level up applies to. And that's really all the changes. Yeah.
I was looking at 4th level druid spells, and one of them is Ice Storm. And I'm trying to imagine a more redundant use of the D&D ability this season. But yeah, so I have you down here. Phillippa is spending your first downtime scene with Marina. You made a little date, a cape date. That was harder to say. A cape date. You know what I'm saying. So why don't you paint me a picture of that?
Yeah, I mean, Uno reverse card, like, we leave off from, like, slime downloading knowledge into our heads? Is this an immediate thing, or are we just sometime later?
No, this downtime episode is meant to bridge the gap of the 3 weeks to the next sortition.
So this is just at some point.
Yeah, anytime in there. And in fact, I would like, if possible, some focus on the restorative work the Moist Watch does to essentially indemnify Grendel for the genius of Grendel's misdeeds, because that was the agreed upon, sentence, if you will.
Well, I've been thinking about that a bit too. So with that in mind, I think that Phillippa would come around with Nobi sort of, in tow, and be saying like, "Hey, Marina, I was looking around town because we needed to do a survey of people or things that have been damaged by the good neighbors and similar things to this. And I just needed to know if you were experiencing damages that we could help with."
Yeah, you enter Marina's shop and say that, and Marina, who is a denizen, is her species, not a D&D species, just to remind the audience it's been a while. 4 arms, cat eyes, scales from the neck down, described by their creator, Conrad Zimmerman, as being like David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Wow.
When he is revealed as an alien. So she is looking into what Slime identified as the engine room of her store, and so she's looking in there, considering what has been taken out, and she says, "I don't know what any of that's worth. Do you think Shoko would pay me back, or I guess the Moist Watch pay me back for taking my Engine? What is that word? I don't."
Oh, that's let's see. I think that's some kind of mechanical contraption. Do you want it?
I mean, I wasn't using it, but I think it must be valuable if people took it.
You know Shoko lives in a big pile of garbage.
So I'm probably going to get garbage out of this then.
Well, it's what she has to give, and also, think she likes garbage is what I'm thinking. So you can try, but
I guess. Do you have any decorating ideas? Is there anything I put in here to spice it up a little bit now that my stuff's gone?
What does Marina's shop kind of look like? Sorry, what does the engine room specifically kind of look like? Is it just emptied out of an engine? Is it just a hollow space?
I'm picturing, in Mass Effect, where there's that kind of closet where, I guess Liara is.
Are you talking about 1, 2, or 3? Because Liara has different places.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that and was like, I have to fucking rephrase that because Mari's gonna jump down my throat.
I haven't played the game in so long because I'm so bitter about the ending, but I still have it memorized.
Yeah, I guess a better way was, I think the engine room that Tally maintains in...
She maintains the engine room in 1, but she also maintains it in 2. However, Liara, she has her own little back office where she stalks you in.
Okay, I'm fucked. I can't escape this metaphor. It's just it's smaller than you would think. It's not it's not like in Star Trek where like there's an entire floor of the ship.
You're talking about 1 then, because she had a very small engine room in 1.
Okay, yeah. I should know this. She is my legal wife, so.
Oh. Traded space. You merged your immune systems with her? Wow.
Get in line.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an asked and answered thing. Like, I don't think that Phillippa's going to be looking to this with a technical eye in the slightest. So she, like, as Marina's asking, like, what could I do with this room? Like, she's just going to be like, well, it's not very big. I guess, what kind of rooms does a tailor need? Maybe you could use it for storage?
I've got a storage room. There's a room in here that's like, it was full of beds. Took those out. That's where I keep all my equipment and so forth. The storage room now. I don't know why you would have a beds in a shop. Doesn't make much sense. Whoever owned this before was weird.
Yeah, maybe you could if you use the extra space, maybe you could expand from capes to hats or
She looks shocked. Like you just said something like profane, and she's like, haberdashery is a completely different field. How Phillippa.
I thought you were cultured. How could you?
I'm sorry, my understanding was that a capitalist business needs to expand constantly or else it dies. But if you want to just stick to the one niche, that also is a viable business plan.
This is a socialist country or town.
We have kind of a mixed planned economy. During the summer, we do capitalist business to raise funds from the travelers, but then during the winter, we're essentially communist with ourselves. We have what you might say Grendelian characteristics in our Marxism.
Well, in that case, I mean, just use it for things you want to keep secret, which would be my suggestion. Most people don't seem to notice this little room. So, do you have any things that you want to keep secret?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I'm just trying to come up with ideas for you. You do have like a scandalous costume or a skeletons in your closet or some things like this.
Phillippa, what are you gonna suggest next? I cobble some shoes, girl. You're a wild one. You're fiery today.
I thought you said you're fired today. It's just like I don't even work here. Not with that attitude.
Coming in here with all this salacious, with all these salacious ideas. But you're right. I guess I'll keep the gimp suits in here. I think that'll probably make everyone more comfortable.
That's probably a good idea. That's not everybody's cup of tea.
Although I do support kink at Young Day. I think that's important.
Well, it's kind of fundamental to the purpose of Young Day, and if we didn't have it there, then everybody else would get too comfortable and the entire purpose would be lost. But maybe that's a discussion for another day.
Oh, do you want a cape? We had a cape date.
I forgot. You were going to make me a very fancy cape.
So in much the same way that visiting Hale can get you an assortment of magic items, mostly offensive, Marina will supply you with equipment, mostly defensive, armor and boots and capes and so forth. What kind of boni would you be interested in for your cape, which is canonically part of your character forever, and that must be included in all fan art?
Okay.
Think carefully about this cape.
Oh my god. I'd like it to have a pattern of Steve Harvey's face. No. What do we...
The licensing rights.
Let's see. I feel... The thing is, Philip hasn't actually, taken much damage or anything like this, so I feel like, honestly, if there was a way that it could, just aid in either stealth or, general spell casting, those are the kind of ways that I'd be looking for a bonus, because, I don't think that, Philippa's, taken enough damage in battle or things like this to, be looking for straight defensive kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would be very down with advantage on stealth, the whisper silk cloak, something like that.
Maybe she's I wanted to have a really, really fancy lining, so it's really impressive when I open it up. But on the outside, I want it to be very plain, so I can actually slip by unnoticed. In fact, I wanted to help me to stealthily maneuver in and out without being seen.
There'd be a cloak of elven kind, or at least a variation of that, because it makes people's perception when the cloak is up. When the hood is up on the cloak, people have disadvantage to make perception checks to see you, and you have advantage on stealth checks. And then we pull the hood down, it no longer does that. So it's
well, it's very innocuous normally, right? So you can sneak around, but then when you're ready to go action mode, it unfolds and Steve Harvey's face is there.
Oh no, not Steve Harvey!
I think in more seriousness that in keeping with the circle of the shepherd and Philippa's nature leaning druid stuff, the patterning on the inside, and this, I'm purely speaking for fan artists right now, would be much more some kind of really intricate, like forest, big tree kind of like mural of stitching. Like it's you know the way that a tree can be like fractal in pattern because of all the branches and leaves and flora. It would be kind of something like that, just very like the like looking into a deep forest where you just can't even tell which way is up because it's so much like foliage.
I will also point out that one of the cloaks that's in the Xanathar's Guide to Everything is just great for being how stupid it is. It's the Cloak of Billowing, which is a cloak that you could use a bonus action to make it billow dramatically.
Yeah.
And that's all it does.
I feel like I could see Gigi getting one of those.
That is now the only piece of clothing I want for any character I ever play on this show.
It's a common magic
It's a
item.
cloak that comes with its own like fan, I guess.
Yeah, no one's going to notice that I've picked no other clothing for my character because the cape billows.
Next season, Laura, you should show up and be like, my character, well, they don't really matter. Here's the important thing. They've got a cool cape.
They got a cloak that just...
Can I have a living cloak next season?
I'm just reading the description for Cloak of Elvenkind, and it does look pretty good. So I mean, if that's what we wanted to go with as the official what the item is, then I'd be down with that.
Yep, that sounds good. Last thing before we move on, Nobi's here, and I think Marina takes the opportunity to say, have you given any thought to sharing your friend here? Could always use some, the old floof.
Oh, Nobi.
Yes!
My friend here, as you see, makes lots of fine clothing. Would you be okay with losing a little bit of your fluff? Maybe not right now when it's the middle of the winter, but like soon. Would you be okay with that, or do you need it for something?
What will you give me for it?
You gotta
Wow,
barter with your own sheep.
Wow, Nobi, that's not I mean, I'm really just asking if you're okay giving it or not. So it seems like no. I'm not really looking.
Nobody rides for free!
Historically, Nobi, actually bartering is a system that only comes into play between people who are enemies rather than friends. It's much more of a hostile situation. The conception that money replaces barter. Sorry, I'm going off on a thing.
You have to stop reading that book about debt!
No, it's a really good book. It's better than Marx. So, look, no,
in this universe, it's Marx and angels, and they're just literally a bunch of angels who helped Marx.
There you go. Nobi, if you look, if you don't like, if you want your wool, then it's fine. I'm not insisting that you have to give up your wool. It's your wool. I was just asking.
No, I've just been watching a lot of sheep shearing videos on Grundle, our social media platform. It looks really calming to be sheared. I think I might like it.
Okay, well, great. Marina, yeah, he says that he would be up for being sheared because it looks fun.
Have you guys seen any of those videos? This is Austin
Yes.
now.
Yes.
There's the one where a sheep got lost in the mountains for like years, and it came when they finally found it. It was like, it was like a Honda Civic size.
Yeah. That's kind of how I picture Nobi to some degree because like
It's a floof.
I don't think he was. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been sheared.
It seems like good vibes to get sheared, although I'm sure it's not pleasant for all of them. What if you're anxious? That would,
Right, absolutely. What the real good vibes is the sheep dip.
Oh no, that's terrifying. We can't. Okay, we'll do a separate sheep podcast. Next up, actually, I think Neellith. I want to hear about your level 8 because I have an idea for it.
So, level 8. Neellith doesn't get a huge amount for that. Level 8's one of those in the middle levels. I get some more HP. I get +1 to my dex and my wisdom. And I've learned one new spell, Polymorph, and I have a new level 4 spell slot. can't justify the dex, but the wisdom, I would like to think that Neellith learned a little something about, like, hey, maybe don't act the fuck like that. That had consequences from previous encounters. So a little extra wisdom now. Just a little.
So basically, a thought I had was that there's all this scrap metal lying around Grendel from the good neighbors, which were damaged. Most of them crawled back to the workshop when the failsafes were activated on the monolith. But there's probably still some scrap here that needs to get picked up. And you have the Beyblades, which can lift 1,500 pounds or something. So it feels like you're the natural answer for the question of who picks that stuff up.
So I agree with this, but I will say that by this point Neellith has fashioned some kind of homemade, not terribly good earplugs to deal with the screaming.
Oh, so it's for you. I thought you were going to say like a ball gag or something for the Beyblades for everyone.
Oh yes, because they've got the face on. Well, no, it's canon from that episode that they don't actually scream all the time. They only scream when they bash into other Beyblades.
Yeah, and when things are put on them. Okay.
Yeah.
So no, you can go earplugs if you want to. That's also a power move.
Yeah, I'm going earplugs. I'm going, please, just keep it out my ears.
Okay, so who's coming along with you on this cleanup journey?
Ruth is gonna be my companion on this one.
Yeah, I imagine she has some PR issues which she has to start working on. Might start with cleaning up visibly.
Yeah, and if nothing else, Neellith, feels like she should probably get to know the person she's just agreed to take, future crime consequences for.
Yeah, that was the other verdict, in addition to cleaning up the genius's mess, was just anything Ruth does is your fault, which is pretty sick and heroic, honestly.
I mean, that is a choice, and Neellith is really fucking hoping that was the right one to make, and... yeah, as such, desire to get to know, hey, Ruth, are you trying to do the right thing and are you good? Or am I fucked? That outweighs the whole don't talk to therapists thing.
All right, so the image of this is you two walking around in like your little orange vests, picking up scrap metal and putting them on the Beyblades and then wheeling those over, or I guess floating them over to the dump. What do you two talk about as you do this work?
I was going to say, what are therapists except cops of the mind when Laura said don't talk to therapists. There you go. There's my joke. You can edit it in really snappily. I'll be like, yeah, what are therapists but mind cops? Got 'em.
Got him.
How are you holding up?
Well, I am now a pariah. No one will visit my establishment. And if I mess up, we both get to die in the snow. So pretty good Tuesday all around.
If you mess up, you're fine. Only I go die in the snow if you mess up.
I am a woman of honor. I will join you.
Why did I agree to this if you're going to go take the punishment handed down to you?
Okay, fine. I will take your restaurant and I will eat all your delicious snacks.
I mean, look, if we're gonna have you take over the restaurant if and when I get kicked out of town for all of the terrible crimes you're gonna do, you're gonna have to start coming on the weekend so I can teach you the exact meticulous way that restaurant is run, because even if I am dying out in the snow outside of town, I will be damned if you do not run my restaurant properly.
You will come back and haunt me and your ghost will say, "Not the risotto, you donkey!"
Yes. But I mean, look, it's not going to be the food you're cooking. It'll be the fact you've put the pan in the wrong cupboard. There's a system.
Oh, it's organizational, not culinary.
Yeah, exactly. There is a right way to do things, and that is alphabetized, but also size organized, but also sorted by material.
All at the same time.
All
And
at
if
the
there's any
same time,
contradictions,
Hey,
you know how they resolve.
There is an order of operations for which you prioritize if you must.
Now, I know we are about to have a serious heart-to-heart, but I do have a suggestion for your menu.
I'm always willing to listen.
It's really more of an excuse to run a pun by you.
Oh no, I am very okay with this, and also quietly, I'm assuming, Austin, did you come up with a brain pun that you're excited to share? Because I hope that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's
Oh,
happening.
hell yeah.
So you know prions, the
Yeah.
proteins that are misfolded in the brain.
Yeah.
Do you know pampushka, the Ukrainian donut?
My favorite food-related puns are the ones I have to explain to the customers, because then I get to explain puns and how good of a smart thing I thought of.
That's the whole joke. Prion pushka. It's a brain donut from Fantasy Ukraine. Fukraine.
Oh no. Oh, terrible.
I will make sure to put it on the board with the entire description and explanation of what the pun means right next to it, and everyone who orders it needs to say the whole thing.
The whole thing plus the explanation.
Yeah, that's included. That is included.
That is part of the package deal there.
Good. So I assume you have a lot of questions about the history of the village and my dealings and the dark secret in the heart of Grendel. I'm sorry to disappoint you that I cannot tell you what you want to know, but I may be able to tell you some things which can lead you to people who can talk.
As I said before, I want to trust you. I think that you were trying to do something good, and I want to do what I can to find out what that is so that I can fix it. So whatever you can tell me, I would appreciate.
Yes, so rather than speak about any privileged client information, I will just tell you the history of Grendel.
That sounds like a good thing to hear. Completely unrelated to anything else.
This mountain has always been very cold and harsh and isolated, and the only people who lived here, as far back as we have records, are the frost giants. Although, I guess the yokai are also sort of native to here. Yokai are drawn to mountains. There's a word for it. Yamabiko, which Austin is certainly mispronouncing, but so that was all that was here for a long time. And then first, the goblins came, and they asked the frost giants for permission to have a little village here. And the frost giants agreed, as long as they were not bothered. And that's how it was for a long time, just the little goblins in their little village. And then it was discovered that there was another world up above the sky, and the easiest way to get to it was from the top of Mount Grendel. So travelers began coming to the mountain to venture up to the surface. This is when I came. When I first got here, Master Voya was governor at the time. Do you know Ozzy's mentor?
By reputation, I'm aware of them conceptually.
Yes, that may have been before your time. I would say the most important people in town were Master Voya, myself, and another person named Laszlo, who left a while ago.
Did Laszlo have any strong connections to anyone who is still here in Grendel?
That is a great question, and one I cannot delve into much further. I think that might be someone you should ask around about. I will say, though, that at some point, Master Voya and Laszlo had a falling out. First, Laszlo left the village, and then sometime later, Master Voya went missing. And now I am the only one from that coterie who decided to influence the sortition who is still around.
So, to clarify, are you saying that the three of you were entirely the ones responsible for making that decision?
Yes.
Okay, that's something.
It sure is. Would you do me the favor in perhaps a non-clinical setting of giving me a story of your own? I know when you came to Grendel, you were asked about your, life cycle, because it usually requires a murder. and under Zone of Truth, you said you were not a murderer, and so it was not a problem, but you have resisted all of my overtures to therapy thus far.
Look, at this point, you're not going to get any therapist clients for a while. What's the harm in having a chat? Sure, I don't know how much I want to tell you, but I'll tell you something.
All of my appointments with the people of Grendel are pro bono. You know, it's not really that big a hit to lose them. It's the people coming here who have trauma from their journey. That's where I make the big bucks.
Capitalistic therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, Nobi is the model, right? You shear the travelers and then share the wool with your citizens.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ozzy's off in the distance thinking, wait a minute, the therapy was pro bono. This whole
Neellith will stop and consider for a second and will eventually offer. Most of my kind take their bodies by force. They take bodies that are suited to them for being advantageous or for some kind of purpose, or sometimes just out of convenience of situation. Mine was given willingly. I had a very good friend who was willing to allow me to use their body going forward. And as someone that didn't want their life to be predicated on having taken a life just to prop up my own, I took them up on that offer pretty readily. I didn't really stop to think about it or to ask too many questions. I gladly appreciated an offer that most of my kind will never be afforded.
Thank you for sharing with me. Hopefully, we can talk more soon.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to talk about it.
You wouldn't happen to have any other Illithid friends in the vicinity, would you? I think maybe even better than tracking down the secrets and dark history of the village. If you could just bring a bunch of Eldritch Cthulhu people to come fight for us, that would be better.
I wish I could offer you that. You might be aware that most Illithids don't look an awful lot like me. I did not make terribly popular choices about my form.
You were canceled for being too cute?
Basically, I didn't go and pick one of the big, strong, buff bodies, and that is not a popular thing, because they like all the Illithids to follow a certain structure.
I like your size, your flump size.
I like my size too. I like the body I have.
I think Ruth smiles, and there's like a moment of you forgetting the circumstances that have led to this particular mission you're on with the scrap metal, and you smile at each other and agree to share more stories going forward.
Oh no, the therapist did a bad thing, and that somehow accidentally Neellith into therapy. Oops.
oops.
Ruth, rebel
Oops.
therapist.
Ruth did a therapy. Oh,
Therapy
yeah.
without a cause.
She doesn't play by the rules, but she gets results.
I'm here to solve trauma.
It's like okay, I want to turn it. I need Ruth. You're off the case. I want you to turn in your badge and your gun. It's like,
Why do you have a gun, Ruth?
Ruth, wait, no! Why did we give you a gun in the first place? That's not therapy.
All right, so who would like to go next?
Slime would like to invite Phillippa for their emotional intelligence skills,
Oh,
if that's okay. You can say no.
yeah, absolutely. No, I'm down with it.
Okay, Slime would like to go to the farm for the much neglected citizen.
Okay, so a couple things. One, what do you get for level 8?
Phantom Steed, extremely excited. And
You're getting animal greedy. You already have a cat. Now you want a ghost horse?
I mean, a ghost horse is pretty cool already.
it would be a slime horse, and that's what makes it fun.
Oh,
Yeah. And cause fear, which would be great for interrogation.
nice.
And I think you also got something else for being level 8. What was the other thing that you got?
Oh, +2 intelligence.
Mm.
All right. So, Wizard, your intelligence score must be pretty high now, huh?
20.
Slime is the smartest person alive.
Smartest dumb person.
And so you want to go visit Farmer Applewhite, and you did want to bring Phillippa along? Everyone's making Sophie put in so much work this episode.
I just wanted some time for our characters to bond.
Aw.
I have often said the ideal Dice Funk episode involves me talking as little as possible. If you all could just banter for an hour and a half, it's not even a laziness thing. It just means your chemistry is that good.
Oh, okay. Well, don't put that pressure on me, please.
Okay, Slime, here's something I've been wondering. You know centipedes and other bugs that have lots of feet?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, I've eaten some. I have all of your questions and answers.
I wonder often if they like feet more because they have so many, or if they think that they're less interesting. You know how some people really like feet? That's what I was wondering.
Some of them don't care about feet. Others care a lot about feet. Some of them fetishize creatures with only 2 feet because it's so little feet. And others want all the feet.
Wow.
Now that is the canon sexuality of centipedes in our universe. Thank you, Mari.
I guess I underestimated centipedes. I viewed them as too much of a monolith. I am now realizing that centipedes might be a more complicated society than I thought.
The centipede foot fetish is a spectrum, not a binary.
Centipedes contain multitudes.
This is really throwing me off. I'm re-examining the way I look at a lot of things that I think are kind of simple. Oh, look, we've arrived at the farm.
Now, the last time I was here, I died a horrific potato-related death, so they might be shocked to learn that I have returned, or they might not recognize me if I have inhabited a new body. So if you could use your organic emotional intelligence skills, that would be wonderful, because I plan to throw up on all of their broken things.
Farmer Applewhite is like 2 feet to your left, and it just says, "Oh no, I recognize you, Slime."
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I was made aware that you have been neglected in the social support, and I am here to puke on your things.
What girl doesn't love to hear that?
In a restorative manner, to be clear.
Brings me back to high school. Anyway, both the tulpa and the good neighbor tore up my dang fields. So if you and Phillippa want to get in there and fix some of these ding-dang plants
Do you need us to plow the fields? Do you have any structures in need of mending?
Oh yeah, my silo took a big hit. Look at that right there. You see the crack in it? My plow right there got stepped on. It's just, golly gee, it's been such a couple weeks.
I'll get to work, and Slime starts vomiting on different things, allowing them to mend. I also have the spell Fabricate. I can build any homes for you.
Wow, Slime, you have so many different talents.
All puke-based.
Well, do you have any non-puke-based ones, just for variety?
I can open my chest cavity.
I think during this conversation, the tum-tums are all kind of getting near, and they're all sniffing at you, Slime. If you'll recall, tum-tums are like basketball-sized animals, which are they're rolling creatures with they just have kind of a snout that unfurls, and they can sniff the scents out of things. That's how they eat, and it's like the scent goes away, and they digest it somehow. And there's just like half a dozen of them rolling around, and they're just sniffing at you, just taking some of your corpsey scents away.
They must love my decaying matter.
Oh, they just love a variety of things. They like to smell good things, bad things, new things, old things.
Phillippa, would you like to speak to the round things?
Hello, are you legally distinct from Tribbles and also Krites from the franchise Critters?
Yes, we're legally distinct. Fuck. We don't even have any of the Tribble reproduction stuff. Come on.
Okay, I'm just checking in. How are you all doing?
I almost went to Pizza Rat there. Come on, guy.
Come on, guys. We're making a comeback now. We got renewed for another season.
You thought this spin-off show wasn't gonna last, but it's a smash hit. It's bigger than the main show.
Tony, don't smell that. You don't know where it's been. Please, you're gonna give me a heart attack. What are your grandma gonna say? We gotta go to church.
There's Pizza Rat, the Tum Tums, Drip, Cat, Nobi, the Slime Horse. Fuck you all. As if this show is hard enough.
You're acting like you don't appreciate the Pizza Rat bit there, and I don't believe you for a second.
Hey, I'm podcasting here. Of course, I appreciate the Pizza Rat.
Fuck. I guess Phillippa would be like,
Have you, small creatures, experienced any damages and you need anything repairing?
I can make them a baby house.
Yes, please. Oh my god, I've never wanted anything more in my life. Tell me about this.
Flumps, tell me Phillippa, ask the Flumps what the parameters of their needs for a home would be.
Oh no, the Tum Tums.
Tum-tums,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Ask Phillippa, if you can, please ask the Flumps what the parameters of a proper shelter for them would be.
Maury.
I can't. I'm so
Tum-tums.
tired. I've been so
Tum-tums.
sick. I'm sorry.
it's okay. Ruth is a flump.
I'm so sorry.
Oh gosh.
The Tum-tums.
Okay.
Friends, my friend would like to make you a little house. You know, Farmer Applewhite has a big house, but you can have a little one because you are little. What would you like? I mean, it can be big if you want, but what would you like from a house?
Hey, it's me. I'm Italian Tum Tum. I would like exactly the same kind of house that Farmer Applewhite has, but smaller.
I am guessing that you might like for the house to have smells in it, but I don't know. I don't want to be presuming.
Well, it'll develop its own smells over time. It'll get its own natural character. How about you add like a bro cave to the basement with some exercise equipment. That'll generate some smells.
How do tum-tums exercise?
Trunk ups. Come on, guy. You think my trunk just looks like this naturally? These muscles? Get out of here. Forget about it.
Maybe add something for the ladies. Maybe a spa or something. You got nails?
With this again. Busting my balls. Come on.
Oh my god, Tony. I have a plan. I need to do my hair sometimes, okay?
Is this a different Tum Tum or are these the rats intruding?
I don't know.
They've been hanging around the Pizza Rats for too long. They've watched too many episodes of the Pizza Rats, and they've picked up on their idioms.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can get all these features included. You don't need to argue about them. If we're only making a small house, we can put lots in.
Andrea, you gotta stop hanging out with those rats. They're a bad influence on you.
Slime says, I obey. And then walks to the edge of the property where the tum-tums, I don't know if the tum-tums have a special area or what, but in order for Fabricate to work, I need to have a clump of trees or something. So I'm going to walk to the edge of the property where some trees are, and Slime lifts their head back and opens their mouth, and then ominous chorus singing starts coming, and you don't know where it's coming from. It's oh, and then the slime comes out of their mouth and eyes and ears and down their body and onto the trees, and horrible nightmarish sounds and sights are seen until eventually a little mini cottage is there. It's very shiny and pretty.
Thank you for doing the Foley there. Now I don't have to add in an ominous choir in post.
Did you make sure it has a bro cave with a bar for doing trunk ups?
It has a bro cave and a cis, what is the, like another, what is cis, I don't know.
Spa.
Pool?
Spa.
What's happening?
Well, the equivalent to the bro cave for the lady tum-tum.
Yeah, a cis pool and then a gender neutral confinement area.
A confinement area.
Mari, I didn't know you were British.
You've been relegated to the gender neutral confinement zone. It's been declared.
You really know how to make me feel at home on this podcast.
I wanted to make sure that like the spectrum was covered.
It's just like reading The Guardian.
I can't wait till this recording's over and I can go back to the cis pit.
SIS, not CIS.
All right.
I was on the wrong side of that.
Oh, I absolutely thought Mari was
Yeah,
saying
I thought
CIS.
I thought like the like non-trans was the opposite of bro for a second. I got very confused.
No, it was like sister pool, and then I was like, oh, we gotta have something for gender non-conforming, but I was like, I couldn't think of fast enough. So I was like, confinement area.
You found yourself in a maze and somehow fell through a trap door into an entirely different Rubes Goldberg machine.
Oh, this is so good.
But like a sister pool, and then I was like, I don't know, gender non-conforming tum-tums, they go to like, you know, a nice quiet place. There's sound dampening.
Slime, let me stop you. Maybe there is a cave and there is a pool, and whoever wants to use either can have access to both.
Yes. You know what? Yes.
Okay.
That's what Slime did.
Maybe the cave and or pool are not gendered. It's not actually necessary.
Yeah, there's no gendered anything. Sorry, tum-tums. I know you requested it, but I shall not obey.
All the tum-tums are cool with it except for the one guy who kind of sucks.
Where's my bro area?
That's fine. That particular tum-tum can have their own confinement room.
In my mind, the confinement room was like, I want to be alone in a quiet place. And I could have said library and demo.
That's not what it is. That's not what it is now. It's a room for locking this tum-tum in.
That would be the cis confinement area.
You know how We're Not Cops in this town doesn't have jail? There's a confinement room and it's a jail for this one tum-tum.
I really was imagining it as like a soft place to go to be quiet.
We're being silly. It's all good.
I know.
This is going to turn out to be a crucial plot point later for some reason. I'm going to make this happen. You're going to need a gender neutral confinement area. It's going to be the only thing that can save the day.
Thank God we knew what to do.
All right. So you attend to Applewhite's farm, you fix it up, you build some housing for the tum-tums. I think also the pizza rats can enjoy it. I mean, I don't know if it's big enough for Nobi, Drip, and Cat, but I'm sure they could stop by. It can just be a fun little animal area.
Did the tum-tums say thank you?
All of them except for the one. Yeah.
Fucking knew it.
I knew it.
Okay,
He's already written an opinion piece as like why he feels left out of the gender non-conforming confinement area. Unfortunately,
They're gonna go start their one tum-tum podcast that no one's gonna listen to. But inexplicably they'll have sponsors by the third episode. So
tum-tums going their own way.
that's right. Tic-toe, no.
I'm telling you, they got a gender non-conforming room.
Oh, terrible. So, speaking about things that are terrible, Aze is level 8 now. Wait. Aze's level 8. He has an extra spell slot. I haven't really worried about like the spells he's prepared because he's not going to do much spell casting today. I will roll to see if today, before we get into the next, before you get to the next thing, I'll just roll to see if things are benefic or malefic right now, just to get over with. Oh gosh, they're very benefic with the natural 20 there, but that's just Ozzy has yet to roll a malefic for that, so.
The stars are just real bros. The stars are cool.
The stars just being really cool. In terms of also being cool, Aze at level 8 picked the feat Skill Expert. So he gets a +1 to Charisma. which is going to be due to him successfully negotiating an exchange with Potter for once. He gained proficiency in investigation for all of his efforts in trying to understand what's going on. And due to his deep interest in trying to recall and focus on things that have happened in the past, he now has expertise in history.
What a nerd.
So that he is. Well, I mean, listen, what else is he going to do? He already has a 20 wisdom. So, I mean, humble brag anyways. So for Aze's downtime scene, he is going to be also engaged with a member of the village who has yet to have some downtime time with one of the Moist Watch members, and that is Pastor Very.
Yeah, I think Very is I didn't even do that on purpose. Very is particularly interested in the Genius's workshop and the magical phenomena it is undergoing. You find him studying it intently, praying for answers, comparing the sacred texts, trying to figure out what's going on, because he does not think the machine is a god.
Like Aze will be standing nearby, arms crossed, and remarking softly, "So you're absolutely certain that you shouldn't be expanding the Trinity to a quadrinity?"
Aze, three is a party. 4 it's kind of awkward, You got two in there, and they're doing their thing. The third's watching, and then you get 4, and it's like, are you supposed to do 2 separate things? There's just not enough hands. I don't
think Vari has experience of this.
Aze will just little sigh and a nod before adding, "So are you certain that the vision that you have has been averted properly?"
Oh, the vision of Marina's house exploding 5 years ago? Yeah, that's taken care of. Just because of the way time works, we're living in the future, so it had to have been averted, right? That's how time works. It's not like if you go back in time and change things in the future, they change gradually. That's like the classic film Back from the Future.
Oh, where you kiss your mom?
The machine said that. Anyways.
Yeah, that's not how time travel works. We're in a stable loop. Whatever changes were made have been made the whole time. We've never existed in a timeline where we were all incinerated.
Did Master Voya ever talk to you about any calamities that she might have noticed in her times working as the mystic here within Grendel? Was she ever privy to that?
Master Voya was a leader of the community. She was a governor for the time. She remained influential even after. She's consulted me on all spiritual matters. So we've talked a lot about various calamities and visions, and we didn't always agree on everything, but we all miss her very much.
Indeed. I still worry that I'm not as suitable of a replacement for her services to this community. But unfortunately, I've little choice in the matter now. I have to carry on her work as well as I can, and and with the added responsibilities that Gigi has entrusted with the formation of the Moist Watch, it just feels like there is so much to do
There's so much to do. There's so much to see. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with taking the back streets?
I knew you were going to go down that route as soon as I said those first few words here, so trying to get out of it, but you wouldn't let me. You drugged me back into it.
I'm not sorry, for the record.
I know you're not sorry, but do you think that the formation of the Moist Watch was ultimately the right thing to do for the community here? I mean, we were able to help out in the ways we have been so far, but it feels like we're also creating a lot of tension among the other villagers. And I worry that it might cause a fragment in the stability of our community.
Well, it's not my belief, but in Isaiah 21:6, for thus hath the Lord said unto me, go set a watchman. You know, it's pretty much the watch people from the beginning of time have looked out for the community, and even almighty divinity has seen their worth. So
I guess the other question is, do you trust someone like me being part of the Moist Watch, Pastor Very?
how about this? I'll answer that question honestly. If you can go in there, and he points into the workshop, and go get me some of those widgets right there. He just points to some things inside the workshop and says, you know, at the trial we determined that we weren't going to take the geniuses' stuff in recompense for their crimes, but I want to research some of these objects further to determine the source of the magic of the machine. And I would go in myself, but Kaboom and Kablam do seem very serious about defending the genius's property. So if you could use your Moist Watchly powers to maybe get in there for me, I would appreciate that.
Probably especially from Very, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd be like, kill on sight.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Aze will say, I suppose you want me to do this before you answer my question.
I don't have a Bible quote for that one, but yes.
Very well.
As God said to Abraham, yep.
As God said to Abraham, yo, you know, I want that shit. You better go get it.
That's from the extra book of the Bible, The Art of the Deal.
Yes.
Actually, I think the quote.
Perfect.
I think the quote to Abraham was, "Did I stutter?"
and Abraham's response was, the answer to that question is no. So the answer to my question is no. Is that how this works? And it's like, hey, get out of here.
Because God had just invented that line for the first time then ever. So Abraham was like really thrown off.
So Aze will acquiesce to the to Very's bargain and enter into the workshop.
So basically, Kaboom and Kablam are immediately going to emerge from the obelisk and go, hello again, friend of the god genius. Have you come here to pay your respects?
I wish both to pay respect and humbly request a memento, a keepsake to eternally cherish the memories that the genius has granted upon me, and in hopes that one day I can, mine eyes can gaze upon their brilliance.
Flay the unbeliever!
What?
15.
What's the 15 for?
The slingshot. I want to roll on the wild magic table, Skitch. Don't take this from me.
All right, the 15 will hit Aze.
Okay. Wild magic, I rolled 48.
Good.
Oh, shit. A unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet. Yes!
Yeah, I can just like picture Austin like punching it like, yes! I got it! Another animal to name! Fuck!
All right, you take 3 damage as the rock hits you in the forehead, and then from your tiny little bump, a fucking full-grown unicorn explodes out of your forehead and begins galloping around the workshop.
I got a question. Does the unicorn's name include a color and a confectionery?
Violet Skittles Unicorn is property of Leon Renegade Cut Thomas Limited. All rights reserved.
All rights reserved. Aze will just rub his face a bit, looked at the unicorn, and it's just a unicorn, or is it shark unicorn? That's the real question.
I mean, our imaginations can be whatever they want. Who wants to add flavor to this unicorn?
All right. I at the very least, Ozzy is going to determine if the unicorn's temperament towards him is friendly or not.
Okay, first of all, roll animal handling. Second of all, you fool, you simpleton, you absolute goober. It's a narwhal unicorn. How could you?
Well, I rolled a natural 20 on the animal handling.
Okay, well, the narwhal unicorn is now your best friend. You're gonna.
Neellith needs an animal friend now. Shit, everyone's getting animal friends.
I'm gonna point out. I gotta pull up the reverb for this. This is the second time that when I rolled animal handling in interacting with the animal like this, that I got a natural 20. This is the second time in a row like this. It's just
Jesus.
It's because the last time was Drip, and now it's the narwhal.
Neellith has no interest in having an animal companion, but now that everyone else on the Moist Squad has one, I don't know what animal Neellith wants, but it's getting one now.
Probably get a psychic one.
Well, Ozzy has 2, so.
As the narwhal like cozies up against Ozzy, and Ozzy just like pets along its head, he will look up at Kablam, who just belted him right in the face with that slingshot, and say, I hope that my request is nothing too disrespectful towards their grand eminence.
The Kaboom revs his chainsaw and begins flying towards you, at which point your new narwhal unicorn friend grabs the widgets in their mouth and then ducks under your legs to pick you up and rides away before you get chainsawed in half.
This is my reward for rolling a natural 20. I'll take it.
Yeah. The unicorn narwhal spirits you away as Kaboom and Kablam chase you to 20 feet away from the workshop, at which point they are sucked back into the obelisk. Because as I read the warlock ability, the obelisk can only control reality within 20 feet of itself.
Well, Aze will also just cast Speak with Animals just to make sure that he can just pet the narwhal and just say, that was a close one. I must thank you for your assistance there.
I'm out of voices. Who wants to be the unicorn?
I'm the unicorn.
Oh my god, it's me, the most beautiful unicorn in the world.
We
I
both
just
took
got my
very different
horns
approaches
in.
on voicing this unicorn.
Okay.
This unicorn has 2 different personalities simultaneously.
No, I like Laura's.
Hey, what's up?
Give it a Cockney accent.
I refuse to pantomime Britain for you. I will do the British pantomime of my choosing.
Why, what's a pretty lass like you?
Britain is a pantomime. Here's the unicorn. Oi, governor!
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'm a narwhal unicorn.
It.
Not many people know that.
Do you want to give the narwhal unicorn a name? Everyone else?
I'm Basil.
Basil.
Yeah, Basil.
Yes.
Well,
How can I help you?
well, Basil, if you're insisted on sticking around, I hope you enjoy having a roommate.
Well, I am insistent on sticking around. I did not exist a minute ago, and the cold void of non-existence is terrifying. I would like to stay here if that's all right with you.
Basil also, like Kaboom and Kablam, cannot go too far from the monolith. I can just read this again. I think I read a little bit of it. I'll read the whole thing. The Maker's Monolith. You raise a 3-foot wide, 15-foot tall monument to your patron's majesty in a square 15 within 5 feet of you. This nigh invincible monolith acts as a conduit for your patron's power into this realm. You may shape reality as you please within 20 feet of this obelisk. Any structures or items removed from this radius will disintegrate after 1 minute.
Oh god, are you...
No.
Basil looks over at Kaboom and Kablam, back over at the...
Wait. So we're talking about constructs and items.
Well, also the wild magic literally just runs out and they disappear, but I just made a DM call that they're linked to this magic.
Basil looks over and goes, oh god, my entire existence has to be within 20 feet of them. Oh no. Please, new friend, you have to find a way to save me from this.
In the interim, we'll build a stable outside for you to... Sorry. In the interim, we'll build a stable outside for you to stay, so you don't have to be in the same structure as them.
I mean, a stable's nice and all. Can you build like a very big, large wall that is, right on the edge of the edge of the limit, so that they can't get around it to the other side where I am?
Basil, the narwhal unicorn, I think actually, because the genius is no longer existent in this timeline, I think if you're within the 20 feet radius around the obelisk, you can shape it to your whims.
Give me a sec. And Basil creates basically just an impenetrable little corner on the edge of their range. It's like, yeah, this will be all right.
He's got a loft. He doesn't even share it with a roommate. Ah, fantastic.
Exactly. As long as I just don't think about it too much, I can just pretend they don't exist. He'll be all right.
I love how this person has come into existence and immediately has the ability to create and destroy and already hates people. Just the very first 3 minutes. I hate these people. I can create and destroy as I please.
I was gonna say, at least Basil doesn't hate Aze. We've established that.
Yeah, you seem all right. I mean, look, I came tumbling out of your forehead. You can't be all bad.
Like Zeus.
Yeah, Basil is the Athena to Aze's Zeus.
I hope you're...
Is Aze Basil's god?
Oh my god.
Or are you their father?
I will. There's already 4 potential gods in this area. I think 4 is already too crowded. 5 would be just irresponsible. So it regrets me to say that no, I am not God.
Very says, actually, I think 5 is actually kind of fun again. Like 3 is a good number. 4, it's awkward vibes. But then 5, and it's just like, it's a smorgasbord of holes. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oops, everybody's gods.
Speaking of smorgasbord, Very, here is what you requested. However, if you wish to investigate it, you must stay nearby. I don't think you will be able to return to your igloo with this safely. It will turn to a smorgasbord of dust in the wind.
So Vary's going to investigate these items. I want to say real quick, though, that for those keeping track at home, we now have 3 ongoing subplots. One is Phillippa's quest to find the artifact, which was stolen from the Frost Giants. We have the Secret of Grendel, which goes back to Master Voya and this other mysterious person, Laszlo, and I guess Ruth, although she can't talk about it. And now we have a third, which is figure out how to free Basil from the monolith so they can be their own person.
I hope you're ready for this to become the dominant subplot, just so that when Neellith gets killed off in a freak boss fight or something, I'm going to play as Basil the rest of the season.
Unicorn player character revival, yes!
Austin, start thinking of like a way to get Basil out should we need it, because I want to play Basil if Neellith dies.
So, after fulfilling this request, do you trust somebody like me being in the Moist Watch, Pastor Very?
Very says, to be honest with you, I try not to judge. You know, everyone has their own weight of sin to carry. Everyone has their own journey. You know, when there's only one set of footsteps, that's, me carrying you. I think that's how it goes. I'm very helpful. But I have to be honest, I had some reservations. There was a big inquiry when Master Voya went missing. Potter tried to interrogate you, and then Gigi also tried to continue the investigation. And, that wasn't for nothing. I gotta be honest, I did see you leaving the village with Master Voya, and you lied to everyone and said you hadn't seen her leave the night she disappeared.
Now I got to think about this, because I'm wondering if Very even told anyone about that, or if other people know about that.
Yeah, so the implication is that's why Gigi and Potter haven't let this go, is because when this disappearance was investigated, Very was telling people that he saw you with her, and you were saying, nope, I don't know, I haven't seen her, I don't know what happened. And so that's why, like, the listeners have been having a field day with, like, oh, can you imagine Ozzy being a murderer? That's so silly. He's such a great guy. But there is, like, a basis to the suspicion, which is that you appear to have been lying about the night she disappeared.
Also, in the background of this, Basil has manifested some popcorn and is just looking back and forth, watching and shoveling it into their face. This is a great entertainment.
Hell yeah, Basil.
I can't disclose anything further. There are reasons why I can't say what happened. And I know that answer is not going to be satisfactory, but it seems that even after the years that have passed, this is something I will have to continue to carry.
Well, my confessional is always open if you want to unburden yourself, you know. Cats, very nosy, like to get into everything. They love to listen, and so we try to emulate her image and her great works, and by getting our little snouts into everything. So
I appreciate the offer, but I believe I shall retire back home for the time being. Hopefully you are able to gain the insight that you wish to seek from these items from the Genius's workshop.
yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to leave any ambiguity here. I'm going to say, like, Very finishes identifying the items and says, "There's no God here," and just, like, tosses the items back into the workshop and says, "The machine is just cold metal. No soul at all. And the Genius is no God either. They'll be back."
I don't know much about that. I know that I am here and I exist and I can make popcorn appear out of literally nowhere. And if that's not godhood, I don't know what is. Although godhood probably wouldn't limit me to a 20-foot square. Scratch that. Godhood would probably be less limited than this. Basil now starts rotating the popcorn through different flavors, just seeing how many flavors they can make manifest.
What character class is Basil going to be when we kill off Neellith next episode deliberately?
I think nothing to do with magic. I think, like, barbarian.
Well, see, that must be Violet Skittles Unicorn.
Okay. What the classes? I'll have a think. I'll get back to you before the end of the episode.
Thief.
No, I need a minute to think. Well, I'll get there.
Hoof monk. Just hoofs flying.
I was thinking monk as well, honestly, yes. Yeah. So,
I mean, I like the thought of Basil being a ranger, because I don't know quite how they would handle a bow and arrow, but I want to see it.
Well, they just launch their own horn. They just leap forward, just be like, bow attack, flurry of arrows, and just dive forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're a magical unicorn. I'm pretty sure their horn could detach and replenish. A little missile horn.
Like Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly like that.
Basil's an 8-class multi-class.
Ah.
1 level in 8 different classes.
That tracks. His class is really Chad.
Yeah, someone should do that meme with the Chad, Basil, and the Virgin Neellith.
Oh no! I was gonna say like so Basil's a factotum. Got it.
Yeah, Basil's not constrained by, you know, traditional labels about classes. You know, they take a little bit of everything.
Yeah. All right. So my mistake. So Aze will retire back to his home as we transition to the next scene. Ooh.
So Phillippa, you wanted to do a second scene to kind of catch up in this with this mechanic of the visiting the villagers. Also, I noticed one of the things we haven't fixed yet, as far as repairs in the village, is Slime's house, which had a hole put in it.
Oh yeah.
During that arc. So if we need a place for you to do this, hanging out with Slime, we can also get some more Mari in there.
Phillippa maybe comes over to pick up Potter from the bar because they've arranged that they're gonna go help fix Slime's house. So they'll like, Hey, Potter, are you ready to go? We're going to fix Slime's house today.
Hell yeah, dog. Look at this. You see this? Look at this new fit. Marina made it for me special. It's my stuff fixing outfit.
Whoa, you look so handy.
I have big hands, yeah.
Yeah, yowie hands. So, while we walked over, I just wanted to, I guess, probably moan a little if you were willing to listen.
Yeah, you know what they say, the bartender's always listening.
I don't know. I've just been rushed off my feet recently with the indemnification plan and seeing how we can help repair damages, and also the justice system in the town, and like trying to make one that will work, but also not just work, but also last, because I don't know if I will be around in the town forever. I would like to probably continue my studies. And speaking of that, there's the frost giants. I guess I just have a lot on my mind.
So I take it you're not going to be putting your name into the sortition.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. No. Could you imagine?
I could picture it. Yeah, you're an accomplished academic, intellectual titan as far as our little burg goes. I think we'd be great. We'd be happy to have you.
Well, that's very nice of you, but I do also have to find this religious artifact for the frost giants and get it back to them.
Or they'll kill us all, yeah.
Right, it's a problem.
Statistically, the Moist Watch, I think, can take 2, maybe 3. They attack in raiding parties of 12, so...
Right, and I only have the one potion of growth left, so I can only for so long appear as their size and try to reason with them.
Yeah, I would say going forward, you might want to prioritize looking for that rock that they lost, or things are going to get bloody, huh?
Yeah, that sounds pretty... Oh, geez. You know, Potter, I was hoping that it would help to talk to you, and I'm kind of getting more stressed out.
Well, I mean, the bartender's always listening, and also the bartender is always helping kill those feelings and thoughts in your mind. Although now I realize I don't have any alcohol left because you fed it all to the obelisks, so fuck. Damn.
Oh, look, it's Slime's house. Hey, Slime!
We're gonna have to do the rest of the winter sober.
Oh, God!
Oh my god.
Hey, Slime, we're here to fix your house because there's a big hole in the roof. I know you didn't ask for this, but we're fixing things up around the town.
Thank you. Cat has been deeply upset. I have felt nothing about it.
Hey, Cat, how are you doing?
Can I say something about Kat's voice, which is a very deep, scary voice I did? After that, I recorded the episode where I had Kat saying, like, Mother, take a level in Druid and we can talk. After we stopped recording, my girlfriend said, what was that sexy voice you were doing? It was an animal. She's like, I stand by it.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so I think I'm going to roll animal handling for Potter here. I rolled a 2, so Cat tackles Potter too hard onto the ground and begins roughhousing him in a way that is alarming for him, at least.
Hey, Cat, stop it. That's a friend. He doesn't like it.
I want to play.
He doesn't want to play yet.
I need enrichment.
Why don't you run around the whole town in a big circle?
There's nothing here to kill.
I've beaten all the games around here. Nothing entertains me anymore.
You know, Cat, there are actually 2 jellyfish-looking bros in the genius's workshop who you can kill an infinite number of times.
Fuck. Yeah, that sounds great. I've been spending a lot of time on our social network, Grindel, and I gotta say, the memes are old. I'm done with them.
Yeah. Social networks are bad for your mental health, Cat. I would advise you do not go on that anymore.
I swiped right. I swiped right and I swiped left. No satisfaction either way. I can't take it anymore.
You know what's better than social media? Murder. Objectively, it's better for our minds and our society. I'm gonna go kill those jellyfish.
Several people have been on social media and come to that conclusion, I think. So,
oh no.
So shall we get to fixing up the roof?
Yeah, we just want to lock in that in the background of this season, Kat is just repeatedly killing Kaboom and Kablam over and over again for its own amusement. Okay, good.
Cool. It'll make getting anything else from the Geniuses Workshop a lot easier.
Basil, how do you get along with Kat?
It fucks up Kaboom and Kablam like a lot. You know,
Basil's a big fan.
Basil's eating popcorn's like, I'd watch this show all day.
as soon as it becomes clear what's occurring here, Basil takes their previously very, very isolated dwelling and just makes a little window facing Kaboom and Kablam's place.
Wow, how many different classes have you dipped into? You got Rogue and Ranger? Sick.
I mean, you classed into the only thing that matters, killing Kaboom and Kablam, the only class of any repute.
The animals of Grendel really are their own show.
We'll get a little spin-off. Grendel Animal Adventures.
Jeez.
Good.
Potter will ask you, Slime. Hey, are you gonna put your name into the sortition?
No.
That's a very Slime answer.
What was happening was that the council's like, wait. Do we put a sortition? Like, just the meeting there, just everyone just shouting back.
They're
and
like,
forth.
should we all individually, as each individual cell, put our names into the competition?
That would really tip the odds.
Yeah, they would almost certainly win.
We can guarantee victory by all claiming to be separate entities. It's like that's
cheating. That's immoral.
they were cheating in the past. We're just making it right. We're taking it back.
The philosophy cells come. No.
I'm using Potter as a vehicle to ask, but also Neellith and Aze, are you? Because this is going to be a real sortition. I'm really going to roll for this.
I think Neelith's gonna put her name in, not because she actually wants the role, but because she believes that there is someone in town that it would be dangerous to be made governor. And by putting her name in, that's that's a slightly less chance that the dangerous person will come into power.
Ozzy's putting his name in as well. Yes.
Whether Phillippa puts her name in is dependent on this scene.
Okay. I want to say, as a mechanics issue, if you do get chosen as governor, I think we might need to have a conversation off mic about whether or not you play a different character, because I don't know that the governor would stay part of the Moist Watch.
Yeah, this is the thing, Neellith, I don't think Neellith wants to be in charge, and I don't want to stop playing Neellith, but also I think that narratively that is what Neellith would do. I think that Neellith trusts Ruth enough to go, right now we need to make sure whoever it is you can't warn us about doesn't get in.
You know, think upon that, and also think about Very's answer. It may be in Ozzy's interest not to put their name in, because the suspicion I have is that if Ozzy's name gets drawn, there will be a non-insignificant number of people who just straight up do not trust Ozzy to be in charge of anything. So he will abstain from putting his name into the sortition.
All right. Potter is helping you, Phillippa, fix up Slime's house and just, general destruction in the village.
Cool. The thing that's on my mind, Potter, it is about the sortition as well, in a way, since you are asking. My parents came to Grendel when I was very young, because the Aarakocra society is not very accepting. And so we came here because we heard this was a place where there were all sorts of people of all different kinds. It kind of matters a lot to me that a justice system here works. And I want it to work, and I want to prove that it will work, but I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life here making it work.
Yeah, leadership's a big responsibility. It kind of defines you, at least for your whole term, maybe afterwards. So it's a big commitment. But if you don't do it, who else will? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could get a real doofus in there, and they could do a lot of damage. I think that's what Ruth was saying at the whole trials.
I mean, Ruth was kind of saying getting a doofus in would be a good thing because then she could manipulate them. I find it very sinister, but
Yeah,
mostly
Potter kind of looks hurt because he was one of the people Ruth manipulated into being governor.
Or
He was
like-
trying.
or like a super chill guy with really good biceps would also be easy to manipulate.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's probably what it was for some of them, at least. Probably the majority. This is okay, and like I think she gestures to like the tiles they're laying on the roof right now. Like this is okay. This is simple work, but I would be giving up my studies if I decided that ultimately I would stay.
I wish I had some answers for you, Phillippa. You know, I'm just kind of your average guy. I love Grendel. I'm gonna die here, so I'm like, I'm dedicated to trying to make it better. But if your destiny is elsewhere, it's like it's not on you to fix our shit. That's my look on it anyway.
But it just matters a lot to me that a place exists in the world where people can believe in peace and safety and community. Thanks, Potter. You've been helpful to talk to.
And I think that Phillippa is going to put her name in this petition.
If they were votes, you'd have my vote.
Oh, thanks, Potter. That's really nice.
All right. So, Aze out, Slime out, Neellith in, Phillippa in.
Yeah.
Can I have one little extra side scene before the sortition draw happens?
Absolutely. I think like the morning of the sortition, everyone's getting ready. They're going to gather at the lodge. What is Aze doing?
Well, the night before the sortition, Aze does something, and it's a little bit thing. During the last arc, I never used a 4th level spell slot. That's because ever since Aze hit level 7, he's been using his 4th level spell slot every day for one specific purpose, and that's to cast hallucinatory terrain within his house. And so what happens, the scene that happens after he leaves, very walking past like Potter and Phillippa and Slime, goes back to his home. He opens the door and pulls back the curtain into the back area, and what is seen in front of him is the clearing from his dream, with the cave visible, and just the fact that he just sort of manifests that into his home on a daily basis and comes home to that. It's just sort of what I wanted to have, just a moment where Ozzy seems like each day to come home and seems to be actively recreating his own nightmare in physical form before going to sleep in his house.
In the HBO adaptation, that's the when you crumple up the slip of paper with your name on it and decide not to enter.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like from his perspective, he blinks and he sees different things of the opening of the cave. Like at once there's nothing, then there's like blood, then there's a body, and then there's nothing again. And then he looks at the sortition paper, just crumbles it up and just throws it aside before Drip just like picks it up and eats it, and then takes a nap on the ground.
Drip's like, I'm gonna be governor. That's how this works, right? You eat the paper and then you're in charge?
Drip thinks if you eat the most votes, that's how democracy works. No one's told Drip that they aren't votes.
And then Aze spends the night sleeping not like up in his lofted like bed, but on the ground in the hallucinatory terrain. And that's how he spends his night before waking up the next day and groggily dragging himself over to the sortition, which, because it's a new day, one quick reroll, yet another benefic day. Every day's benefic for Aze, apparently.
It's always Benefic and Grendel. The sequel is always Sunny in
There we
Philadelphia.
go. We got a title.
We have a lot. This is a lot of stuff's happened.
That's the animal show. That's what the animal show is called.
So the spin-off is always Benefic and Grendel. Anyways, Aze, like bleary-eyed and looking just like he didn't sleep at all, shows up in time for the sortition to start happening.
Yeah, so everyone's crowded in the big main room in the lodge. Probably there's snacks being passed around. Neellith, did you cater?
Oh, of course.
What kind of snacks? Any fun puns to share with the group?
Not puns this time. I think that all of the food is like little pastries and things that have people's names on. They're all little mock sortition ballots, but as pastries.
Okay. So this time all the names are put in the box, and then Very casts Disenchant on the box just to make sure.
Casts magic, no thank you, go away.
And I think Governor Gigi gives his final speech as governor, or maybe not, because he is adding his own name in there.
Oh my god.
And he says,
I so want him to legitimately come back out.
And he says, my fellow Grendelians, it's so wonderful to see you all on this bright shining day, gathered together in a common purpose to better the whole village. And then mid-sentence, Venta interrupts him and says, get on with it! Oh, okay, well, so everyone's name's in here except for Slime and Aze. Is that correct? Just want to make sure. Everyone nods.
No thoughts, head empty.
Perfect. So this is a real roll. I want to stress to the audience that this campaign, these are real live decisions. We are really rolling with these punches. There's nothing scripted. Here is how this is going to work. Potter's 1, Hale is 2, Venta's 3, Vary's 4, Gigi's 5, Shoko's 6, Ruth is 7, Sun Moon Stars 8, Farmer Applewhite 9, Marina 10, Phillippa 11, Neellith 12, and I'm going to roll a d12. How does that sound?
Sure.
Oh damn.
Uh-huh.
You're just gonna cut the episode out of me going, dang, I have to play that bartender centipede who loves feet now.
God damn it, don't you dare. I won't, no. Fucking, oh.
I know who I already know who I'll play if we do the roll. Let's chill.
Austin, you have 3 minutes to work out how Basil can escape.
Laura will be Basil and you'll play Neellith. No one is foot centipede. All right, this is real. I'm going to hit this button. Here's a D12. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. I have to play the foot centipede. Oh my god.
That really was Phillippa!
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Now remember, foot fetishes are a spectrum for the centipedes. So,
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in the summertime.